Good morning. Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum. Comment allez-vous? Comment ça va? Comment está? How are you? And what's up, bro? I'm working on different languages, and I hope that in the very near future, I should be able to greet my listening audience, and I'm gonna try to do it in 10 different languages. Yes, I'm gonna try to make my initial greeting in 10 different languages. The reason why, because I have a lot of respect for humanity as a whole. I think that all human beings should be respected until they become disrespectful. I'm going to read from my book, Volume 2 of Let Us Talk. And it's a short poem, which means that it gives me more time to talk about issues after I finish reading the poem. The title of this poem is called, Indeed, There Was a Sodom. Oh, look at them in their foolish play. There was no Sodom, they say. The darkness came, then came the light. They cursed God with all their might. Oh, the darkness, it defines the light. It keeps the sin out of sight. But God sees everything. Nothing can stop his reign. What is 70 years or even 1,000 when God judges all the sinful men? When folly is their preoccupation and the hellfire is their destination. That poem is entitled, Indeed, There Was a Sodom. I think that the poem makes a statement and it explains itself. I don't think I have to go line by line to try to explain the poem. I want to talk about a few other things. Let me talk about, I heard from another publisher. This publisher he consciously wanted to just hurt my feelings. He talked about the book that I wrote, and then he said, boom, boom, boom. And he said, well, we're going to delete your book from our files. I think that was his kind of way to hurt my feelings. But that's good, because that only tells me that he was reacting to what I had to say in the book. It's really something how people go out their ways to try to hurt another person's feelings. People can be so mean. They can be so devilish. In other words, people consciously go out of their way to try to make you, the other human being, feel bad. And I think people like that are people who are really feeling bad. I think people who try to make people feel bad, these are people who are feeling bad themselves. So when I think about this publisher, I remember way back I sent one of my books. I think I sent this book to this same publisher before, and he was talking to me back and forth, and I forgot exactly what we were talking about. But I told him something. I said, if you keep talking to me, I'm going to just tell the whole world that you are trying to I'm talking to you, and you want to publish my book. And then he stopped talking to me. And so when I was submitting my book, when I submit my books to publishers or agents, I submit it to as many agents as I could find on the internet, all over the world. I just say, here, look at my book, look at my book. And the thing is, I don't remember all the agents and publishers that I submit my work to. I just submit them, and I think this guy who he sent me an email, and it was just an email that just seemed like he spent the whole time in his email message. It seemed like he was just trying to make me feel bad. Well, that tells me this guy must really be feeling bad. He must have some kind of issue. And when people have issues, they really try to make the rest of the people who exist on this earth, they try to make them have issues too. I want to talk politics today. I would like to talk about President Biden and his crew. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I was looking. I was searching the internet, and I went to a news station in the U.S. And the thing is, it would seem to me that this man, Mr. Biden, he should just drop out of sight. He's embarrassing. He's not only embarrassing to himself and his family and the Democratic Party, he's embarrassing to the country. Someone should tell this man, they said, look, sir, we need to take you to some kind of institution and lock you down and make you... It's obvious that this man is sick. And it's really something. People are looking at this man, the experts, and they say, oh, he's okay. It only tells you something about if you're in a certain position that you are some way different from the rest of us. I think Mr. Biden should go home. His wife should lead him to a rest home and let him rest. I don't have any bad feelings about Mr. Biden. I'm just saying, let's be realistic. Now, and then I'm looking at what the Democratic Party, it's telling me something about the Democratic Party. Now, there is a discussion of, and this was a discussion even before Biden was elected president. There's a discussion of Obama's wife running for president of the United States of America. Why? Obama legalized sodomy. The biggest thing they did while he was the president of the United States of America is that he legalized sodomy. So it's okay for a man to use his sex organ and put his sex organ in the behind of another black man or another man, white man, Chinese man. That's the only thing that, outside of killing, this terrorist, Osama bin Laden, outside of doing that, and killing what was the guy's name in Libya? Gaddafi. Outside of killing Gaddafi and killing, he killed Gaddafi, and he killed Osama bin Laden. I can't even pronounce the guy's name. But outside of doing that, the only thing that, and I know, I try to not say anything about President Obama, the former president. The only thing he did for our country is he legalized sodomy. He went against God's law and legalized. It's okay for a man to put his penis in another man's anus. That was the biggest accomplishment so whoever is running the country now, they say, oh, let's let his wife be the president now. Now I'm becoming very, very curious about all this. What is going on in America? Who are these guys in the background putting these people out front and persuading the public to go along with what they're doing? I totally disagree when Obama legalized sodomy. He was going against God's principle. And look where America is today. America is surrounded by Russia. America is surrounded by Russia. Nuclear weapons are aimed at America by so-called enemies of Russia. And you got a man can't even walk on the stage, the president of the United States of America. And you got another man who has committed every crime in the book, who is his opponent. Yes, America, you are in trouble, big trouble. Your corruption is 10 times greater than the corruption in areas where you talk about places on earth that are corrupt. Look at the corruption in America. So you say, oh, I never want to make a statement about Mr. Obama. When I see him talk, I would just go to another page. So I remember when I went back to U.S. and I was in Los Angeles at that time, and at that time I went to a mosque, a Muslim mosque. And this man has legalized sodomy, and it has been promoted all over the earth. And there was not one person, not one man saying this is wrong. And I don't want to make any more statements about Mr. Obama. I must confess, I was very disappointed in Mr. Obama when all he could do when he was president of the United States of America is to legalize sodomy. And I think Biden and he were good friends. What were they doing when they went with their wives? Yes. It's a cold story. This is a cold-hearted world. And look, I'm like any other human being, but I fear for you, America. Look where you are at. I fear for you, America. And I'm looking at these successful black people. I remember, I'm not going to call any more names. I remember how these used to be political activists, and they were bought by the system. How these black Americans are being suckered again. They go along with everything. Oh, they put them in high places. But if they put them in high places, they can take them out of high places. I'm a little concerned. Oh, why am I? I'm a human being. I'm an American. Yes, I'm an American. I'm a little concerned about what's going on in my homeland. And I'm looking at the things that I have. It's unbelievable. It's incredible. The things that are going on. And you just look at who are the men who are running for the President of the United States of America. And look at what they say who should compete with it. Obama's wife, she should be why should Obama's wife be the president? What type of manipulation? Who's pulling the strings? Who's pulling the strings as to how our government is being run? So I suggest surrender. Throw in your white flag to the Russians. Throw in your white flag, America. Because you are in a sad situation. The situation is sad. And you still have your black lackeys who are still kissing your behinds, kissing those white Anglo-Saxons behinds and going up. Look, you allow this travesty to exist. You black brothers who, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, those same people had their foot up your great-grandfather's behinds, are the same people who are killing that mentality. These are the same people who are killing those people in Palestine. I was searching the internet. It was and I ran it to one station, and they were talking about the former president of South Africa, Mandela. Mandela was sold out by the U.S. but before he was arrested and put in jail for 25 years. It was the white American CIA who turned Mandela in to those white segregationists in South Africa, who are still ruling South Africa now with their black puppets. You got black Africans can't even travel to South Africa because of their political philosophies. Who's behind that? It's about time for black people to wake up all over the world. American, South African. And you got a man who can't even walk on stage, who can't even have a conversation, a discussion without saying the wrong thing or making the wrong gesture. President of the United States of America. And you have another man just waiting in line who has committed every crime in the book. Every crime in the book has been committed. And you can say, maybe Obama's wife can defeat Trump. You in trouble, America. America, you in trouble. You in deep, 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 deep trouble. So what I'll suggest is that if you are an American and you are my brother, I would suggest that you do this. Buy books by MUSAU MattmeachamJR. This is MUSAU MattmeachamJR signing off on Earth